It's a good one. I experienced this. Well, my whole life I'm experiencing it. But when I experienced it when I was younger, I didn't understand it. And it made me think there's something wrong with me. I knew something knows, you know what you're talented in. You know what your gifts are. Like, And I would recognize when I was in school, it didn't matter which grade. Man, I had a good teacher at second grade, Miss Knapp. I even tried to find her. Like, I don't know, some months ago I did a Google search. She's probably not alive anymore, but I remember her, man. Anyway, see, God always sends you somebody to help you. He appoints these beings to you run into them in your life. And I met another one when I was 16 that I've shared a bunch of times about because he was instrumental in helping me make peace with the situation that I've found myself in, playing this human game. I would be talking to somebody, and I'm sharing certain angles on what they're saying, but yet they would and they're crueler when they're kids. They would make fun of me for doing it. I'm just participating though. I couldn't articulate that at the time because I was too young, but I couldn't understand. Some subconscious abstract feeling was why I can't get along in groups. Yeah, I remember the job applications. Are you a team player? Oh yeah, I'm a real team player. Yeah, never been a team player. I've always been one-on-one. I haven't done any interviews or anything for YouTube, any collaborations, because we have to be really on the same frequency to do that. We have to be the life forces. It has to be like two candles, and they're making each other stronger. It has to be like that. And I don't like interview questions anyway. So, what do you think consciousness is? Oh man, it has to be alive. It has to be alive. Tell me what your situation is, and then now let's talk about that or something. So, I could tell later on though that as I grew, as I got older, as I met people not many who kind of broke this down to me, I could tell. I'm wait a minute. They know I'm bringing something to the table or a different vision about something, but they don't want to admit it or see it. In fact, they feel offended by it. I knew that much, but I didn't know why. I'm but why? Isn't it fun? Let's make this more rich. You want to just focus on this one couple angles? No, what about this? What about that? And look how that's all interconnected together. No, they didn't want to do that. And I didn't want to just talk on what for me was just very basic level. And I realized it shakes them up, man, inside. It shakes them up. People live in their subconscious. Their subconscious character is what drives them for the most part. That's why I say we have to become more conscious of our subconscious. And we will. We will as long as we stay deep into being willing and open to do self-reflection and analysis and introspection, while at the same time being open to how the God inside us wants to express. And then plus live a healthy lifestyle habit, healthy lifestyle habits, because that makes this whole process easier. The life force flows easier and better. It's all together. There's no just do this. Yeah, there is no just this. So I realized when they subconsciously they'd react. Something doesn't want to look at what you're saying. You know why? Because if they looked at that would bleed through. If they were open to something you said, that could shift their whole life. They'd have to look at everything else. Their whole life might change. It's too much. It's too much for their psyche. Can't handle it. They can't, it's just too much. They're seemingly imagine they're comfortable in their little comfort zones. Everything's kind of in order. I don't want to make any waves. So I'm going to reject your idea because it like is encouraging me to accelerate my evolution. And that would be too uncomfortable, and I might disappoint my family or my partner or my friends, and I might not be able to blissfully, ignorantly engage in all these habits I do anymore. No, I don't want to do all that. Okay, I'm just going to reject your idea and say you're stupid. Oh yeah, ego says, yeah, do that. Okay, that feels better. Good. You're stupid, and I'm not, and I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. There, I win. This is what happens. They don't process it like that, because if you were conscious of that, you couldn't do it. You wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it. So, this ties into the video. I don't know if it's up yet, about how to have unshakable faith when the world's against you. World meaning people, situations. They don't support your frequency. It's not here to support your frequency. This world is created and run on very mainstream level of consciousness and frequency. This is how it's set up. Look at the commercials on TV. Look at the politicians, all their nonsense that they talk. Only time I see that is when I'm at the gym, because they got the damn TVs everywhere. You can't help but not see it. And so then I'll notice some of the captions, you know, and hear what they're saying, and then see some of these stupid commercials, you know. Man, everything's like so commercialized. Dentists and doctors, it's such a business. It's such a business, man. I remember I had to get an x-ray, and I went to this urgent care clinic because I don't have a primary doctor, like what for? And so I went there, and I'm sitting there when I'm waiting in the waiting room. I'm looking at the TV. There's so many commercials. You got to get this virus this antidote, this vaccine for this virus, because it's coming, this might come. Oh, here, you need to do this to protect your kidneys, some other thing. Or you need to take this potion because that's going to lower your cholesterol. Oh, you better do it now before it's too late. Go get this exam and this test because you could have a problem and not know it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. What the level of marketing and propaganda that's sift through now into the making the medical field and dental field merchandise. It's big business. It's such big business. Everything's big business now in the world. It's all about money, and it's a very strong. I made a video about, I didn't upload it yet, the corrupting power of money. I gotta post that. And that has energy. You know, like that influences, because it's look, when the majority of population, and when we're talking about 8 billion people, the majority of population of that number, that's a lot of population. Well, that whole population, there's a certain energetic frequency. I mean, it runs the whole world. Well, if you're here in this world, you're going to feel that to some degree. It's going to be, that current is going to be looking for something in you, some respondent thought or vibration that can sync with this collective energy field of like corruption, basically, and money. So did I get off topic? Because we're talking about yeah. So if you somehow challenge that consciously or unconsciously or directly or indirectly, you're going to be met with resistance. That's just what they're going to do. I can't remember the specifics, but I was somewhere, a dentist or something. I'm like, you're wanting to charge me for an x-ray, a 3D scan, a consultation, a root canal. I mean, like every little thing, like seriously? I ended up getting a discount, like okay, we'll take this off. But money. Or justification and rationalization that people, nobody wants to admit they're wrong. Nobody wants to admit that. ever. You get into something with a business or something, and if it's about money, nobody wants to accept responsibility. I don't know how the judges do it in the court system. Well, I mean, they're part of this mainstream frequency. You can see how they act. Like, it becomes about the instinct of self-preservation and security. It overrides one's wanting to be be in touch with the spiritual nature. Those questions aren't asked in a situation. Okay, what's the best to do here? What's the best to do here to, keep my peace, so to speak? Not in a passive way. This is people learn that too. It depends on your constitution. If you're more, it depends what your constitution is. Some people are really good at being passive aggressive. And then on paper it looks like, wow, they're nice. They didn't make any waves. Oh, that aggressive person, he made waves. Good. That's higher than the passive aggressive, actually. Passive aggressive is all bottled up and no, I'm just not gonna do it. Oh, good, I'm spiritual, I didn't do it. No, but your vibration shows you were doing it. Those people end up with diseases later on because that suppression, that's suppressive energy, it ends up hurting the body at some point. So when you stand up for, like, when you be natural, whatever, you get punished first, especially when you're a kid. That's how we start to become unnatural. We're not accepted, especially some of you. I'm talking to those, some of you. You're different. You're different in frequency. See, some people say, oh, you're just different. No, different in frequency. You stir people up and you didn't even I didn't even, like, why you get stirred up, man? Because you're making them, God's using you as an instrument, and it makes people look at things that they don't want to look at. Like I was sharing earlier. If they really are open to a certain thing you say, they have to look at their whole life, and it's too much work. Same with businesses. If you're dealing with businesses and you say, look, but look at it like that. They can't look at it like that. They'd have to change their whole position on how they do business. They can't look at it like that. So, you and God are a majority. It goes back to that. You have to be open and willing to have this relationship between this seeming individual you and the source itself be bridged more and more and more. Saying that everything's one and we're all one, yeah, okay. Within this human dimension, there's the play of opposites. You can't get away from that. Honor that and play that game as conscious as you can. This is the only saving grace. This world you will not find real peace and comfort in this world. Not if you really know what real peace and comfort is, then it's easy to say that statement. It's not a negative, pessimistic way of looking at it. It's like such common sense. It's common sense as the sun's out right now. So, hope you got something from that. And if you want to come to one of these groups we have, you can see my website and send an email, and then we can hook that up. Okay, I'll see you.